Oh baby, look at these things. Oh my god, these things are a German piece of machinery. Let's have a listen and see how sexy these things fucking look. Are you ready? Three, two, one. What's up guys, my name is Your Heroes and welcome back to more Men of War Assault Squad 2. Today we are going to be having another review on this Tank 2.0 mod, which comes with all sorts of different vehicles from all over factions. In the other video we looked at the American heavies, which most of you really loved and I'm really thankful for it. But this time I was going to do the American mediums, but I thought let's do something a wee bit more exotic. And as you can see right in front of you, we have some of the most exotic vehicles you will ever see in your goddamn life. I mean, look at these things. These things are monstrosically... I don't even know if that word is a word, but these things are freaking beasts. I mean, look at these things. And I know what... And I'm still kind of looking at the heavy tank side, but look at this thing, man. It's got two 128mm guns. I don't even know how to comprehend that. So we're going to be looking at these three vehicles today. Of course, I do have more vehicles kind of laid up. If you guys do want to see more of these kind of epic, really cool vehicles, then make sure you do subscribe to the channel, because you will get a shout out at the end of the video. And there'll be more and loads more of this to come. And there'll definitely be battles of this to come. So we'll have like the Soviets versus the Germans in these mighty vehicles. So if you do want that, then let me know in the comments, because these battles will happen. Alright, so let's have a look at these German tanks. So of course, you guys would already know what this is. This tank is the famous mouse, the Panzer 8 mouse. Over to the, on my right here, if you're looking from this direction, it's to my left. This is the E100, and of course in the middle it is, well, it's technically a tank destroyer, but in this game it's a heavy tank. It is the E100 Flak 40x2, because it's got two of these E100 guns. Or actually, why is it called it? I guess it's the E100's big brother. I think it's because it's got the E100's kind of chassis, as you can see. But we're going to be having a look at these three vehicles, and we're going to be getting straight into what they do. So let's first of all take in the most famous tank of World War II. It kind of came late into the war, but we'll just come as to this one, and it is the Panzer 8 mouse. Now this tank was one of the most armoured, one of the most scariest, one of the most, I don't know, whatever you call it, is basically a really scary tank to the Allies. And this tank is literally impenetrable from the front. I mean, of course, you've got this kind of tiny weak point down here, and also the cheeks of it is quite flat. Well, it's got a curve to it, but you can see it's kind of got a flat side to it. And as you can see, this tank has I didn't even see these two guns outside of the turret, but it has is it a 50 or is it an MG42? Sorry, on as a commander here has it, as a tank commander has it here. Although I don't know why he'd be the using the gun, but okay. It looks like we do have two guns over here. I don't know what these are. They kind of maybe look like mini 30 cals or even smaller. But we're gonna have a look. Oh, sorry. It does. I just realized it does actually have two guns. Technically, it has. Oh, sorry, I didn't have my mouse there. So it has one here, which is the 128, the main gun, which is 128mm gun. And over here, the smaller gun is the 40. It looks... I actually don't know what that gun is, but I'll give you a shot from this angle. So this is the second one, I believe. Nope. Okay. Okay, maybe not. But it does, I'm sure it does shoot that second weapon here, but I think it's just like automatically, you can't manually control it. But what I something also realized about this mod, that every time you do shoot, the ammunition comes out from this wee arrow over here. So if I shoot again, look now, remember, look at this kind of this circle here. So watch this. Watch. And you can, oh, you see that? Look, and a shell just bursts out like that. That is awesome. I actually really love that. and it is really cool. Now, of course, this thing is, of course, as a heavy tank, is quite vulnerable from the sides. As you can see, that it is quite flat, even though it does have those side skirts to protect it from being tracked. But overall, and it is quite slow. It can only go a max speed of 14 kilometers an hour in this game. But it is. Let's hear the gun. This nice 128mm gun. Let's give it a nice shot. Oh my god, it's just devastating. You can see the shell come out here. It's absolutely awesome. Absolutely love this weapon. Absolutely, sorry, love this tank and everything about it. Okay, moving on to the E100. Now, this tank has a completely different gun to the mouse. This thing has the 158mm gun, which is a much higher caliber than the 128. And as you can see, but unfortunately, it does actually. Hold on. As you can see, it does sound the same. I'll give you a wee listen now. You can see the sound. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it does sound a lot different. As you can see, the hatch open here, and you can see the shell kind of bounce off the back of the tank and on the floor. Really, really nice touch to it. I really do love that. And the difference is between the mouse and the U100 is that one, it carries a 150mm gun, which is a big difference, and two, that the E100 has a bigger weakness, where as you can see the turret is just pure flat, whereas the mouse has kind of got an angled kind of turret here, whereas the mouse is just straight out flat, so it is penetrable on this kind of wee hatch here as well. Also, it does have a lower glacis here, but it is very, very hard to penetrate in the game, but the upper glacis, you're going to have no chance of penning that. But as you can see, it has some side skirts as well, but unlike the mouse, this thing does have a weakness of showing its track a little bit, so it can get tracked a lot, whereas the mouse, it is quite hard to get tracked. I mean, you can definitely see see the difference here. Oh, I'm trying to get it. You can definitely see the difference where the mouse tracks, you can barely see them, where the E100 tracks, you can see them quite well. So definitely take that into a weakness as well. And also the rear of it is, as you can see, is much more kind of, well, I would say it's quite much, the turret is kind of the same where it's flatness, but the back of the vehicle is quite angled here, so it can be trollish, but other than that, I think it's really, really awesome. Alright, moving on to the last piece of machine German vehicle that I absolutely love, and this is the E100 Flak 40x2, and the reason it's called Flak 40x2 is because it has the mouse's gun, but it has two of them. Two of them! That is insane! I mean, look at this thing. It has the guns of the mouse, but it has the chassis of the E100. I mean, look at this thing. It's absolute insanity. No, but the problem is that this is much, much weaker. I mean, if you shoot it in the chassis or in the hull here, or wherever it is, it's the same as the E100. You're really not going to penetrate it, but this time, as you can see, that the tracks are way much more vulnerable than the mouse and the E100 combined. You can see that. You can clearly see the tracks here, and this thing is very vulnerable to side attack, and also it's probably quite vulnerable to getting its turret locked, because you can see that this thing is open top and the crew can get killed quite easily, and I just love the way that the crew are just sitting there. But as you can see, the crew can get killed quite easily here, so you actually might die. You might actually lose this vehicle quite quickly, more than the E100 and the mouse. So definitely keep this thing back on the behind the lines, and keep this thing at sniping, because it's got two of these big 128 guns, and I'll give you a lesson right now. 1, 2, and you can see the kind of this wee hatch opens, and you can see, look. One, there's a hatch, other hatch, and there's the other hatch. Just flips up, and you can see the shells coming out. I just absolutely love that. It's honestly just a piece of awesomeness. I love it. I absolutely love this. I can't recommend this anymore. But again, keep in mind that this is a very vulnerable vehicle, that even though it's quite strong in front, just be careful of the turret. It doesn't really have a turret, that's the thing. It does, but you can see it's very vulnerable, and the crew is very vulnerable as well. So definitely keep in mind, and also the U100, I forgot to say it has MG42, but the it's just really, really awesome, this vehicle, and I do absolutely love it. I mean, let's have a look at this thing. I mean, this is something you're not going to mess around with. Seriously, it is a vehicle not to be messed with. So yeah, there we go. That is the mouse, the E100, and the E100 Flak 40 times 2. All of them are just a piece of awesome machinery. I cannot, seriously, if you get this mod, which again I will link in the video description, which I did on the last Men of Warsaw Squad 2 video, it's just a piece of awesomeness. Like, I cannot recommend this anymore. I will definitely get battles out for you guys, because I'd love to see some tank battles going on here, Americans versus Russians, and I'll do more reviews on other factions as well, because let me tell you, the Japanese and Russians have a lot more to come. So if you guys do want to see these type of reviews, and I'll give you a quick wee sneak peek of what other vehicles we have which have been added to the mod, which is the VK45.02 Alf or P Alf B with the kind of the stock turret and the 88mm gun, I believe. Is it an 88mm gun? It is I believe I'm right. Yeah, it's an 88mm gun. And also we have the tank destroyer, the light tank, or a tank destroyer which carries the same gun as this Panzer, as this tank over here. So a very nice tank destroyer. Again, this thing is just, I have used this mod before, and you can see I just love these tanks. And as I go over here, you'll see the baby brother of the E100 over here is the famous Waffenträger Alf E100 with the singular 128 gun, but this time it's actually, I feel it's more protected, but it's still vulnerable. So it is just, I mean, look at this. I mean, this tank used to be in the game. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. I mean, you can see, and the thing is, it's an autoloader as well, so it can just keep firing. And of course, we have the all-famous Tiger 2, which was already in the game. So, honestly, overall, just amazing piece of machineries, and the Germans seriously just stand out to me in this tank review over the Americans. So yeah, there we go, guys. I'd love to see maybe the Americans and the Germans doing a battle off, because that'd be amazing in these type of tank battles. So anyway, guys, that is it for today. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. If you do want to see more of these really, really cool looking tanks and any other factions you want me to review, then let me know in the comments down below, because seriously, I want to do more of these reviews, and I want to get a tank battle going with this, because it'd just be fucking epic. Anyway, guys, that is it for today. I'd like to thank you so much for watching, and also, guys, I'd like to thank you for reaching 460 subs. I know it's not big, but I feel like we can, I have a very good feeling we can reach 500 subs by the end of the year. So let's see if we can hit that mark, and that'd be really, really awesome. So on that, guys, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching and all your support, and I will see you in the next video. See you later, and goodbye.